Welcome to WCIA 3's Remarkable Women. Special thanks to our sponsors, CEFCU, the Venue CU, and Dish Passionate Cuisine.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are having an amazing time so far. This is one of my favorite events of the year. So good evening and welcome to WCIA 3's Remarkable Women Celebration. This really is one of the most unique things that I think that WCIA does every single year. And meeting all these amazing women and getting to tell their stories always teaches me so much in return. And it also makes me reflect on all of the qualities of the amazing people who helped shape me into who I am today. And that includes my mom. So a little story about my upbringing. My mom and dad had my older brother when they were just 16 years old. And they had me 8 years later. So they were only 25 years old at that time. Me, myself, I'm only a few years older than that age now. And with my only child being a Chihuahua, sometimes I really do stop and think, how the heck did they manage to do that? And me and my brother still managed to turn out to be okay. So I always give props to my parents for that. But in all seriousness, I think the answer to that question is having a good support system, leading with love, and also finding creative ways to make personal goals still come true, even if it's not exactly the way you thought it was going to get you there. My mom's been in the beauty industry for more than 30 years. She's an amazing hairstylist and an amazing entrepreneur. She's owned a salon called Salon V in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood for 20 years. August is actually the 20th anniversary, and it's become a neighborhood staple where people go to feel beautiful on the inside and out. So I like to say that that was my very first job at just 8 years old, sweeping up hair inside the beauty salon and also giving hand massages to some of the regular clients that were in the waiting room. And most of the time my mom didn't even know that I was doing that, but she couldn't see me at all because she was busy cutting hair. So I got to do that, but it became harder to hide that I was providing a service to customers when she caught me in the break room counting a big wad of cash and wondering where an 8-year-old got $60 in mostly singles. But she let me keep doing that because those hand massages for some reason became in high demand. Some of the customers loved letting me talk their ears off for some reason. But that was one of the most amazing things that I got to do growing up, and having that upbringing from my childhood and into my teen years as well is something that really shaped me into who I am, because I got to see a remarkable woman in a real life example every single day, working hard, making a dream into a reality, and also uplifting the people around her in the process. I see a lot of that in all the women that I've met over the years, getting to feature these remarkable women of Central Illinois. Ones like Jeanette Jerzyk, last year's Remarkable Woman winner, who took a dream of hers and turned it into a nationwide movement called the She Said Project. And she's getting to uplift women through her platform, where people get to share vulnerable stories in front of an audience. Women like Angel Johnson and Sophia Libman. Angel truly believes in the saying that it takes a village to raise a child, and that's why she opened Angel's Youth Center, which is a place where kids can go to not only grow their minds, but also build character. Sophia, who I should mention is only a freshman at the U of I and is already doing amazing things, created a nonprofit that's gone global. It's called X Time, and it's sparking curiosity in kids when it comes to the world of STEAM. So everything from science and tech to engineering, arts, and math through some really fun and creative projects. People like Erin Watson, Carrie Hay, and Jessica Etheridge. Erin runs Young Lives of Champaign County, which is a group that helps teen mothers through mentorship programs and resources. Carrie founded Luella's Lodge after the loss of her daughter, and she took that and created a place where parents who were dealing with that unimaginable loss could go for retreats and find a place to heal. Jessica Etheridge, a mother of a daughter with a rare genetic condition, built a group called CU Medical Moms, and it's a support group for women raising children with complex medical needs, where they can lean on one another, and have resources of support. Women like Sandy Bergner, Donna Columbus, and Katina Moore Martin. Sandy has dedicated her life to helping people with memory loss lead fuller lives, and her group, Minds in Motion, has been helping people with Alzheimer's and dementia not only stay physically fit, but also as mentally sharp as possible. Donna is the director of Hope for Horses Rescue and Sanctuary, and that's a demanding workload from when I got to go do that story, and I witnessed that, but it's proof that when you're passionate about something, you make it work. And now she's saving lives one horse at a time at her rescue. Katina takes community donations and money right from her own pocket and helps the homeless to buy food and toiletries, and she also becomes a much-needed friend to a group of people who sometimes feel ignored. These women and the many others that I've met through this initiative have all taught me one thing. When a woman sets her mind to a cause that's close to her heart, the good that she can do is limitless. The remarkable women of Central Illinois are building communities of support, they're leading them with love, and they're finding those creative ways to take those small ideas and make them into huge realities. Just like my mom did and still does, and just like many of the women in this room do. I'll carry those lessons with me wherever I go, and that's why hosting this Remarkable Women series has truly been a privilege. And I use the past tense there because I also have a little bit of personal news to share. But this is my last week at WCIA, and I'm taking another opportunity in Phoenix to stay in the industry. But it's definitely going to be a bittersweet goodbye because in the 5.5 years that I've worked here, I've gotten to work with some remarkable women who've taught me so much, from Jennifer Roscoe, my news director, Maggie Hockenberry, and our general manager as well, Angie Salas. And I'm going to take the lessons that they've taught me and that the remarkable women have taught me in Central Illinois and continue to try to put those lessons to good use. So thank you so much. And now I'm going to invite Jeanette Jerzyk to the stage. She's last year's Remarkable Women winner. Jeanette.
Thank you so much, Karina. You will be missed. It has been incredible having an opportunity to work with you and everyone at WCIA. Welcome, good evening. I really want to take a moment to thank the organizers of this event, WCIA, Nexstar Media Group, SevQ, the Venue CU, Dish Passionate Cuisine, for creating a celebration of remarkable women in the Champaign-Urbana community, in the Central Illinois community, all across this gorgeous state. There are women in this room from Rantoul, from Springfield, from Tolono. I mean, this is a collection of very powerful women. So tonight is not just a celebration. Tonight is an opportunity, because for all the remarkable women I know, you guys are out there building organizations, running companies, volunteering, creating initiatives, and you can't do that work alone. It takes a village, and when you meet the right partner or you build that right relationship, it can help you build your initiative and your organization better and faster. So tonight is an opportunity for you to network with so many remarkable women here in our community and beyond. So tonight, be sure to introduce yourself to someone new, exchange a business card, exchange an idea, and see what's possible. So just over a year ago, I received a phone call, or an email that turned into a phone call, to let me know that I had been nominated and selected to represent Champaign-Urbana in Central Illinois at a remarkable women's celebration that happened to be in Los Angeles, California. I accepted gladly, and I got to travel to Los Angeles for an incredible 2-day event that was held right in the heart of Hollywood, where I got to mingle with over 112 women from across the country, each with their own remarkable stories to tell. And it was exhilarating, and it was exciting, and it was humbling. I met women who had invented technologies that had changed the education system. I met women who had started nonprofit organizations to honor their child who had died from a terminal disease. I met a woman who was fighting legislation to save children's lives, and the list goes on and on. I met the president of Eureka College here in Illinois. So getting to network with all these women truly made me wonder, where did someone come up with the idea that I might be remarkable? And so for those of you who don't know, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my story. So I am the national director of the She Said Project, an organization that was started right here in Champaign-Urbana. And through the organization, I get to produce these live events. These are storytelling events that empower real, everyday women to share their extraordinary stories. And I've been doing this work for 10 years now, and I have gotten to work with so many remarkable women from our community, some who are in this room. And I also got to create an empowerment program for teen girls because I wanted to see our young ladies stand loud and proud in their power and share their stories in front of a live audience. And a few years ago, I co-founded a nonprofit organization called The Family Room with a mission to support the foster families in Champaign County. So I don't like to stay idle very long. I like to keep busy. But I like to stay busy in work that matters. And so a friend of mine decided to nominate me, and it was such an honor to win and receive a donation to support my nonprofit organization. But if you had told me a long time ago that this is what my story would look like today, I wouldn't have believed you. My dream started out a lot different. In fact, I grew up in New Jersey, and as a child, I had big stars in my eyes, big aspirations and audacious goals. I really did want to do something or be someone remarkable. I would idolize movie stars like Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe and Oprah Winfrey. I remember sitting on the floor in my living room every single year and watching the Miss America pageant on TV. And I remember watching the woman's face when she was announced the winner, and they would put the crown on her head, and she looked surprised and honored and excited. And I wondered, what did it feel like to be her in that moment, right? And I would watch the Academy Awards, and I would watch as they announced the winner, and the winner would come on stage shocked and excited and give their speech of thanks and gratitude. And I wondered, what did it feel like to be that winner in that moment right there, right? I fantasized about being somebody, about seeing my name in lights and arriving at some big red carpet premiere and walking the red carpet. I would even visualize my name on a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Anyone else do that? Just me? Okay, I'll take it. It's fine. So I thought, well, the only way to get to do all of those things and get that and have that feeling was to become a movie star. So, movie star or Miss America. Miss America was my backup plan. So I thought I would go and become a movie star. Now, I'm grateful that I have supportive parents who encouraged me to go to college or tolerated me going to college and studying theater. And so I did. And that's what got me out of New Jersey and at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where I studied theater in the early 90s. And, fresh out of college with my bachelor's in fine arts degree, I actually moved back to the East Coast and tackled New York City. I was chasing Broadway. But Broadway wasn't even big enough for me then. I had my sights set on the big lights of Hollywood. So my best friend and I packed up everything we owned, and we drove a rental truck across the country, and we moved to Los Angeles in search of our Hollywood dreams, looking for those red carpet adventures, right? So I spent 10 years in LA. I met incredible people. I had amazing experiences. But when I got there, I was so confident that I was going to make it. Like nothing was going to stop me. But for 10 years, I kept hearing, because this is LA, remember, that I was just another pretty girl. I was a dime a dozen. There were so many other girls out there trying to do what I was trying to do. So in those 10 years, I never got that big break that skyrocketed my career to movie star status yet. But my personal life did take a turn for the better or the interesting, and I decided it was time to focus on my family life. So there was this boy that I had met when I was at the University of Illinois, and at this point, we had been friends for 16 years. And then I married him. And I had to make a choice to leave Los Angeles and move back to Champaign-Urbana, where I had gone to college and where I had met the love of my life. It just took me 16 years to figure that out. And it kind of felt like giving up. I didn't talk about it a lot, but I had this negative feeling that even though I was happy and I moved to Champaign and we got married and we had kids and I went back to school, got my master's, there was still part of me that felt like I had failed, that I gave up my dreams to be in a different place and to be with different people. And I don't know if you've ever felt what that feels like, but it's not good. It's not good to walk around thinking that all those dreams of the red carpets and the Hollywood stars were never going to happen. But there's something magical about this community, you guys. And anything is possible. There are so many incredible people that say yes to supporting you and your ideas. There are so many people out there doing incredible work and running nonprofit organizations and caring about their neighbors and doing work for their friends and the children in our community. Am I right? Yeah. So it wasn't long. I dove into everything I could. I did volunteer work. I worked in real estate. But it wasn't long before I met some pretty awesome women who had started this idea, this show, and they called it That's What She Said. And I sought them out, and I said, hey, listen, I've got a background in theater, and I'd love to help. And they let me. And I've been directing the shows since 2015, and I have made it my life's mission and calling to spend time with women, listening to their incredible life journeys, and helping them find and share a story about their life's experience in a performance that is intimate yet powerful, where they get to be bold and brave and courageous. And I fell in love with the work. Right? And so those of us women, because there's a lot of remarkable women in this room, when we find our calling, when we find the work that we're meant to do, it's not about the fame or the fortune anymore. It's about the work. And we have a reason to get up every day and do the work that makes a difference and to make our communities better, right? And so now, at every That's What She Said show, when those lights go on, I'm not standing on the stage. I'm standing backstage. And I get to watch as real women from our community get to shine and be rock stars. And that feeling is so much better than anything I could ever have dreamed of. And so that's the work that I get to do every single day, and I am so, so grateful. But even more so that it got recognized that the work I did was valuable, so much so that my name got put into a nomination to be considered for this Remarkable Woman opportunity. And so, about a year ago, I got to represent our community at this Remarkable Women event in Los Angeles, California. And when I got off that airplane, there was a gentleman in the airport holding a sign with my name on it. And I got into a private car, and I got driven to a really fancy hotel. And as all of the Remarkable Women arrived, everyone in the room stood up and applauded to celebrate all of these real-life women for being exactly who they already are. And it was the celebration of a lifetime. And I got to walk this red carpet. Okay, it was a purple carpet, but it was a beautiful carpet, and get my picture taken in front of a beautiful banner. And I went up to my hotel room, and as I walked into the room and looked out the window, I had a view of the Hollywood sign. And on the last night of this incredible 2-day event, we had a star-studded dinner that was hosted by Lisa Gibbons. And they distributed real, authentic stars from the Hollywood Walk of Fame with our names on them. And now I have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thank you. That sits on the wall in my office. And what I want to tell Nexstar Media Group and the incredible team at WCIA and SEFCU and all the people who came together to make this Remarkable Women event possible is they didn't realize it when they pulled my name out, because I don't envy any of you. I have read these nominations, and oh my gosh, I don't know how you make your decision, because it is not easy. But they had no idea that they actually made every single one of my childhood dreams come true. And it happened here in Champaign, Illinois. I mean, I lived in Los Angeles. I did it. I tried. I have no regrets. I got to go after my dreams. But it was when I fell in love with the work and I focused on making a difference that everything I dreamed of and asked for came back to me. And I'm so grateful for this community, and I'm so grateful for so many women in this room. And you guys, this list of nominees, you guys are here because you deserve to be celebrated for the work that you're doing. I mean, I could name so many of you, but I'm gonna call out a couple. Michelle Gonzalez, who's being celebrated for stepping into the role of Executive Director of CU Schools Foundation. My friend Mary Catherine Roberson, I don't know if she's here tonight, but she was named Woman of the Year by Central Illinois Business Magazine. And it's not because she wanted the honor, it's because she's an advocate for girls and women in her community of Danville, and she does the work, right? And Elizabeth Sollard, my friend, who is honored as Young Professional Athena Award winner. And it's not about the award, but it's about the work that she does advocating for healthcare for the elderly and for working moms in Champaign-Urbana. Like, these are incredible women that you are amongst tonight. So in just a few minutes, we're going to introduce you to this year's Remarkable Woman, who's going to get the trip of a lifetime. And I truly hope that it helps some of her dreams come true. But take advantage of this evening, you guys. I want to see you guys making new friends. I want to see every one of you come up and ask for my business card. If you have a story to tell, I want to know about it, because it is now my life's work to raise women's voices, one story at a time. And I'm so grateful for the support I've received in this community. So thank you for the honor. Thank you for asking me to be here tonight to share a bit of my story. and I am so excited to celebrate tonight's winner. So I'm going to have Karina come back up here, and we're gonna share her story with you.
Hello, hello. You're right where you belong. It all worked out. All the dreams that you had came true.
It was such a full circle moment for me, and like I was dying inside because nobody knew. Oh, and that boy that I married, this Thursday we celebrate 16 years. So 16 years as friends and 16 years married this week.
Well, Jeanette, I'm sure one of the greatest feelings of this whole process is even finding out that you are the winner and that you get this experience and that you're going to LA and taking all of that with you. So with that said, we would like to introduce this year's WCIA 3 Remarkable Woman winner, and that is Sandy Bergner from Champaign. Sandy, congratulations. Thank you. Now, Sandy, I met her a few months ago, and we actually got to document the whole surprise, and that's what we're going to show you right now. So take a look. It's an exciting day here. We're going to surprise this year's WCIA Remarkable Woman of the Year. She has no idea. We're showing up at her house, so let's go get her reaction. Let's bring her. Hi, are you Sandra?
I am.
I'm Karina Rubio from WCIA.
Yes.
Your husband nominated you, and you won, and you are WCIA 3's Remarkable Woman of the Year. We have some familiar faces. These are for you. Not only that, you're getting a trip to Los Angeles with other remarkable women from across the country. In addition to that, you get a $1,000 check to the charity of your choice.
Oh, are you kidding?
You deserve it. We read all of your life's work that you've done and pursued and you were passionate about your whole life, and you definitely deserve this honor. And we're so grateful that you're our remarkable woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we got the whole crew here.
Just let your breathing be natural. And now relax your arms and your hands.
Sandy Bergner has spent most of her life working hard to help others achieve a better quality of life.
Feel your weight shifting. You go to one side, it shifts back to the other side.
This is Minds in Motion, a Champaign-based program that's been running for 20 years. But it all goes back to the mid-'80s, when Sandy was getting her master's degree at the U of I and working as a research assistant at a nursing home Alzheimer's unit.
The whole idea of having special care units for people with dementia was just starting, and they were kind of trying to pioneer that too. So we just didn't have a lot of answers.
Sandy, who began her college career as a single mother and was the first in her family to go, wanted to answer one question: how can I help others with losing their sense of self? That's what fueled Sandy's passion and her next 40 years of research.
And I thought, this is the most misunderstood population I've ever seen us try to care for. And I thought we have to do better.
She continued researching at a university in Indianapolis in the 90s. At that time, the state of Indiana was looking to better meet the healthcare needs of low-income communities with grant money. So, with the help of a colleague,
so we started this clinic in a cloakroom. Actually, it was in a cloakroom in this Methodist church in this really violent neighborhood in Indianapolis, and it grew exponentially.
Growing into Shalom Healthcare Centers with more than 20 clinics across the city today. Sandy left Indy and went back to the U of I by the 2000s, starting a research project with her colleagues focused on dementia.
We tested Tai Chi, we tested cognitive therapies, and we tested like a support group intervention. And we had great results, and they got published.
But the participants in that study didn't want the good results to end.
And then push straight forward.
That's what started Minds in Motion, with people like Venny Ewing still doing Tai Chi today. And that's not all.
We do crafts, we do music, We have little field trips to interesting places, museums and whatnot.
Participants pay a very small fee, with the rest of the funding coming from a local church foundation. Sandy herself does not collect a penny.
It just seemed like a perfect combination of keeping people fit, but also fulfilling that need for socialization.
Venny comes for that and to stay mentally sharp, but her husband has Alzheimer's and participated up until a year ago.
He still recognizes me, he still knows me by name, and he's in his 8th year with Alzheimer's. I think that had he not been involved, he would have been a different person.
Sandy says there's no magic pill for this yet, and the drugs that are available often come with significant side effects. So this non-pharmaceutical approach works wonders, and it's not only for people with memory loss, but also their loved ones and caregivers.
They're watching the person learn so they know what they can do at home with them that works and doesn't work.
Making sure people are staying engaged in their older years is a cause close to Sandy's heart. That's why she also runs a walking group where the destination is lunch at a restaurant.
There's so much loneliness in older adults.
In a close circle like this one, though, friendship is easy to find. Dr. Sandy Bergner is retired, but she has never stopped using her education to touch lives, build relationships, and lift spirits. As you can tell, Sandy Bergner has dedicated her life to helping others, and she's been doing it for years and years. And as we heard from Benny Ewing in that story, she's definitely changed a lot of lives. So Sandy, congratulations, and I'm so excited for you going to LA. All right, that is going to conclude the story here, but not the night. We're going to have the rest of the night to, as Jeanette mentioned, network, get to know each other, get to know what the remarkable women in this room are doing. Like we said, we got almost 100 nominations, and we have some of those nominees here tonight, so have fun and get to know them and learn all about the great work that they're doing. Thank you.